Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings to the elect sincere brothers out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Alright, this is going to be a response video to Exclusive Black Hebrew Israelite member speaks out after Covington Catholic confrontation. I'm just going to let the video play for now. I'm going to pause it, get into the scriptures, and break down really the questions that he has for him. All right, because the guy that he interviewed was totally lost. He's clueless. He backpedaled a lot. You know, he compromised with the guy instead of standing firm for what the Bible actually says.
Turning now to the group that instigated the Covington incident, the Black Hebrew Israelites. Here they are in Washington, D.C., yelling at the high school students.
Now, that term, Black Hebrew Israelites, that word black, that word black is used to demonize the Hebrew Israelites, all right? Because we're not all black, as you can tell. I would be considered a so-called white person. You know, I got paler complexion of skin, you know, red, if you will. And when you break down that word black, it means of the very darkest color owing to the absence of or complete absorption of light, the opposite of white. All right, you know, so black is like a negative connotation put on you know, so-called black people, and it says the opposite of white because white means like pure. You know, it's like the purest form of light. All right, and that's what Esau used to demonize black people and to, you know, portray them as pure. But really, that's the opposite. All right, and you know, just to break down that we're not all black. This is John 7:24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. All right, and that righteous judgment is, you know, going by someone's spirit. All right, you know, because Romans 8:16 says the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we're the children of the Most High. This is 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the hearts. This is Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. They declared their pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Now this is how Israelites determined their nationality. This is how you determine your biblical nationality, is you go by your father's lineage. But of course that was taken away, so we just go by the Spirit. If their spirit can resonates with the truth, then they're an Israelite, right? But this you know, this guy that he's interviewing goes into how it's a heritage, and really it's not if you're black, white, you know, so-called Chinese, Japanese. It's determined by your father's nationality and whether, you know, you believe it and you know, push the word or not.
Make America great again. A bunch of child molested. Look at all these dusty crackers with that racist garbage on. Look at them. That's right. A bunch of incest babies. Biggest terrorist on the face of this earth is the pale-faced man, woman, and child.
The Black Hebrew Israelites are described as a black nationalist hate group with militant overtones. They believe blacks are the true descendants of the biblical Israelites, and many of their sects are anti-white. Many here on the East Coast pretty familiar with the group, who dress up in robes and preach their teachings on street corners. I happened to catch up with them in Philly about 2 years ago.
He said he caught up with this group 2 years ago. So why wasn't it in the news then?
President Trump, how are you feeling about it?
How do I feel about President Trump?
think that white people put Trump in office, and that was the man that they wanted him to rule over their people. Right. But I think black people, Hispanics and Native Americans have a king that they need to obey. Right. And this is what my power said. Read Acts 5:29.
Acts chapter 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
Hey, and they did good, you know. They went into the scriptures, right? They didn't talk out of their own heart. You know, they said, well, this is what, you know, the Most High has to say about this topic. You know, we have to obey the Most High rather than men. And another scripture that would have been good to bring out is render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but unto the Most High what is the Most High's. You know, because we're not you know out here trying to stir up violence on the street corners. No, we're out here to bring the message of the Most High. We're breaking down what's prophesied in the scriptures, man.
Joining me now, Katriel Ben Israel, a former teacher at Kol Sharit B'nai Nas Israel. I don't think I got the pronunciation exactly correct, but I did my best. Now, you heard the sound coming from people in your organization yelling at these high school students. Do you think that was appropriate?
Well, first of all, that organization that you speak of is not representative of the whole nation of Israel. We're descendants by seed, by heritage of this people called Yisrael.
So you condemn these people that were hurling that kind of hateful language at the students?
Well, I don't know if it's quite hateful.
It wasn't quite hateful.
See, this dumbass is trying to be a political, so like what you call politically correct. And the scriptures aren't politically correct. You know, they have certain topics within the scriptures that make people uncomfortable. You know, there's accounts in the scriptures where Israelites go off by you know, raping family members, murdering each other. You know, there's you know, there's a lot of topics that are what you consider controversial. And that's why churches don't go into those scriptures, because they don't know how to break them down. They just push that prosperity doctrine or God loves everybody doctrine so they can fill up the pews and pass around the offering plate. But yeah, the Most High deals with hate.
Crackers, incest babies, child molesters. What do you consider that, love?
Well, they have a way and style that they bring their message to the people.
What's that message, though? That's a hateful message.
That's their style.
Yeah, it is a hateful message, man. Because the Most High deals with hate. This is Psalms 139, verse 19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. See, the Most High has enemies. Right there. Do not I hate them, O Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, that hate thee? So this is King David talking. He's like, don't I hate them that hate our power, that hate our God? Don't I hate them that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? You know, that's why you see us so angry, man. Is because people don't want to recognize who the true power is. Because they hate the message that we're bringing out. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. So King David said, yeah, I hate with a perfect hatred. You know? But you know, the Christian churches and damn near everybody else pushes that, you know, hate is bad. You're not supposed to hate anybody. Which is stupid, man, because there's not a balance in that. You know, the Most High says a false balance is an abomination unto him. So if he's all love, then where's the balance? That scale is tipping, you know? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly. Does that sound like love? And keep them, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their judgment. Now it says keeping them against the mighty day of the judgment. It's like you're holding something against something. You're holding it right there. But he says, the Most High hateth sinners. So yeah, the Most High deals with hate. The Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. Does that sound like love? This is 1 Samuel 2 and 6 through 9. Or I probably won't. Yeah, I'll probably read through 9. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. You know, the Most High is the one that kills people. Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. You know? And this is how the Most High gets down. He has a certain people that he likes. He says he will keep the feet of his saints. You know? But for the wicked, it says, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. You know, that's scary, man. That don't sound like all love. It sounds like he loves some and he hates some. Like a balance. Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So the Most High, his name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. You know? But, you know, he that's the balance of him. He creates light and he also creates darkness. He makes peace and he creates evil. And that word evil just means bad times. You know? This is Ezekiel 9 and 6. This was a commandment to the Israelites. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is a mark, because they put marks upon the righteous people in that city. But if they didn't have that mark, they were just going to kill them straight up. And begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. You know, so I mean, the Most High got down like that. And that doesn't seem like love. Alright? This is Psalm 137 verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. But yeah, the Most High hates. It is a hateful message. And this guy's being too PC to fucking... to be a representative of the true Hebrew Israelites. Most likely this guy was paid off. Because he doesn't quote one scripture throughout the whole interview. He's a bad representative.
That's their style, and it's pretty hateful. Come on, you're a
I'm
smart
not hateful.
man.
I'm an Israelite, but I'm not hateful.
Okay, well that was...
And we can read body language, you know. He's covering up his mouth because he knows that's not the truth. You know, when people cover up their mouth, that's usually a sign of lying. Or breaking eye contact, which he did. He looked down. You know, he's compromising, man. The Most High doesn't compromise, he just does. And if you're on his side, then you stick with what his word says. You don't do this shit.
That was pretty hateful. I think you would agree that was hateful language.
There's a lot of hate in America that's not really initiated by what you want to say Israelite groups like that.
But you wouldn't agree with me that was hateful language directed at the Covington boys by this black Israelite
I don't know what
group?
initiate that. What did the confrontation bring forth.
Okay, listen, I haven't seen all of the video. I've just seen what was said to the Covington boys. We didn't see anything coming from the other side directed at the black
so
Israelites.
It's basically
Yeah, well,
planted. We don't know why they responded in the way they did. You just giving me one side of the story, so.
Okay.
but of course they're gonna bring one side of the story. I mean, what else are they gonna do? You think Esau is gonna tell the truth? He's gonna let them break down the 12 tribes chart on national news? No, man.
Is it okay to disparage other ethnicities in the black Israelite group?
Well, you keep calling it a group. Every nation
Religion.
has, it's not a religion, it's nationality.
Okay,
It's
is
an
your
ethnicity.
nationality okay with disparaging other racial groups?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad.
No. He went off. That's not scriptural. All right. The word disparage means regard or represent as being of little worth. Now let's see what the Bible has to say about disparaging. This is Isaiah chapter 40. I'll start at 15. It says, "Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles of a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient of a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity." And when you go into that word vanity, it just means nothing. You know, it says the nations are a drop of a bucket. You know, if you have a whole bucket of water and a drop falls out, you're not going to be discouraging to collect that bucket. It says they are counted as the small dust of the balance. You know, when you weigh something and you're trying to balance it, and a little piece of dust goes on it, you're not going to be worried if it's slightly tilted. You know, you might even just blow it off. That's how he looks at all the nations. It says, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, in vanity. Less than nothing, man. Let's see what's written in 2 Ezra. 2 Ezra 6. I'll start at 54. "And after these, Adam also, thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen." All right, so people like to say, well, we all come from Adam, right? Well, yeah, but you have to understand that there's, it says, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So he has a chosen from people from Adam. "All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes." All right, and what you're going to find out later in the video, the world was created for Israel, not for heathens, man. Heathens were created for Israelites. You know, Israel is supposed to possess heathens, you know, dominate over them. You know, the heathens are supposed to serve Israel. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. They're nothing. All the other people that aren't chosen, that aren't Israelites, are nothing. That sounds like disparaging, man. Regard or represent as being of little worth. Nothing. But be like unto spittle. You know, if somebody hawks a loogie on the side of the sidewalk, you think people are going to try to, scoop it up? No. And that's likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So you can get abundance of them. You can get a whole bunch of them, round them up, get them in a huge group. And he still likens them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel, man. "And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have began to be lords over us and to devour us." You know, and that's what you got going on today. And it's about to turn, you know. That everlasting kingdom is going to come into rulership. And that's what's happening right now. And it's really going to start happening when Yahushua comes back, man. That's Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You know? He has a chosen. He set them up to be over all people, man. Alright, this is Psalms 147:19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Alright, and Jacob's name was later changed to Israel. So he showeth his word unto Israel, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And yeah, you got those those false Jews over there that claim that they're the Israelites, or Jewish people, Jewish, Israelis. Let's see what the scriptures say about that. Let's see, this is Psalms 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instructions, and casteth my words behind thee. And that's what these damn devils do, man. They don't like what the scriptures have to say. You know, they claim that they're a nation under God, but yet they still promote homosexuality on a huge scale. You know, the Most High is like, what are you doing with my statutes? What are you doing with my judgments? I didn't give this to you. Get your dirty paws off my gift. This wasn't meant for you. You know, it's like it's like getting a bracelet, right? You know, you buy a bracelet for a really fine looking chick, and you give it to her, and then next thing you know, you see this ugly bitch wearing it. Like, give that back, man. I didn't get that for you. Take it back and give it back to the chick that you dig, man.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
Is there a problem right now with the black Israelites? Are they angry at something specific? What's the beef?
Well, from my perspective, we've been in captivity for 400 years. We've been denied our heritage, our land, what rightfully belongs to us as a people. We've been.
He's not lying there. You know, he's doing good right there. But the beef is this. Alright, I'll let the video play.
Here for 400 years, we've had miseducation in regards to what belongs to us nationally or ethnically as servants to this country.
So what belongs to you specifically?
Alright, before it goes into that question, this is the beef that we got. Alright, this is why we're so pissed off on the street corners, yelling and screaming for our people to get right. Alright, this is Psalms 83. I'll start at 2. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, against Israel, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Alright, so this is what all the enemies of Israel did. They came together with a crafty counsel, you know, a conspiracy to cut us off from being a people. They said, let the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. You know, the tabernacles of Edom, which is the so-called white man, the Ishmaelites, which are the Arabians, of Moab, the so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Jabal, and Ammon. Ammon is the so-called Japanese, and Amalek. Amalek is the so-called Jewish people today. They're the head tribe of Edom. The Philistines, which are, so-called Africans. And it goes on and on and on. All these other nations conspired just to cut off Israel from being a nation. They put us into captivity. Made us to where we wouldn't speak Hebrew anymore. That's why we're speaking English, Spanish, Portuguese, and whatnot today. And that's why there's not a whole lot of our culture in remembrance now. Like what were the so-called African American Negroes doing before they came into slavery, huh? What were the Native Americans doing before the white man came over? What were the Mexicans doing before they got pushed down, down that southern border today? Because a lot of Mexicans were up here, man. They were up in North America. The Seminole Indians, the Cubans, Puerto Ricans, so on and so forth, man.
Specifically, what belongs to us is the land?
In America?
No.
In Israel?
Absolutely.
Oh.
No. This is our possession, man. This is what our inheritance is. This is Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. Alright, so these other nations belong unto us, which includes...
Okay, so you here are in America.
That motherfucker right there, man. He's going into captivity. Because he's an Edomite. He might even be an Amalekite. Because, a lot of these media and Hollywood, they control, the so-called Jewish people control a lot of this media. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. The uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Alright? So the whole world, the uttermost parts, it's wherever we can get to, man. That's ours. And we're going to be ruling over those people, so whatever they have is going to be ours. And the kingdom to come. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. We're going to be shattering these heathen, man.
And you want the land in Israel to be given back to you?
Absolutely.
Because you believe it's rightfully yours?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Nah, he said it's going to be given back. He asked if it's going to be given back. Hold on one second. I got to think for a second. Now, let's see what the scriptures say about this. This is Daniel chapter 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Alright? So no, we don't expect you to give it back. The scriptures prophesy that we're going to take it. We're going to be snatching it out of your hands like a fumble, man. We're going to strip it out like a defensive player is trying to strip out the football, man.
So you probably have to fight with the Palestinians over that.
Shit, we're fighting the whole world for it, man. But not right now. We're waiting on Yahushua to come back. Alright? Because we can't do it on our own. We're in a low state right now. Our power is not carnal, We're fighting against principalities in high places.
Well, it's a fight.
Because they think it's theirs too.
So a lot of people think it's theirs, but prophecy says the children of Israel will return to their land from the scattered places that we've been scattered.
Okay. Your group has been called a hate group.
Well, you keep saying my group. The children of Israel came over here in slave ships. And we're in churches, we're in mosques, we're in various religious doctrines that have been perpetrated on us as a captive slave body of people. And this process of awakening to know who we are, our roots are, has taken on many fractions. And basically, they've been formulated into religious concepts where ethnically, nationally, we're descendants by seed, by heritage, by birth.
Okay.
Now that's true. You know, you're descendants by seed and heritage and by birth. You know, he was right in saying that. And like he said, we're scattered, man. You know, you have Israelites into different religions, practices, you know, cultures, whatever, and that look like different people.
Of the nation of Israel.
All right, so in general, not talking about Covington right now, but in general, do you have a problem with white Americans wearing Make America Great Again hats?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Well, that incident highlighted what the problem is with America today, because you have Native Americans who are speaking out in regards to what transpired with them. And what transpired with them? They were pushed on reservations, they lost their lands. Then you had the Israelite group, who we've been brought here by slavery, forced against our will, and given doctrines that don't even belong to us, and we've lost everything. And then you have the Christian school that was there, and they have a right to speak as well.
Okay. I do think some of your members are giving you guys a bad name. Let's just watch some recordings of some of the language that you guys have been using. Roll the tape.
That's right. Y'all are going into slavery for enslaving so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Now that's true. You know, that's in Revelation. I'll get it real quick. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. And he said that so-called white people are going into captivity under so-called blacks, so-called Native Americans, and so-called Latinos, because the white man put those people into captivity. And that's what the Bible says. That's the balance. But of course they're not going to show them breaking down that scripture.
That's what the Bible say, all right? So y'all can sit up here and listen. Y'all can take it as a joke. But guess what? All the atrocities that was done to our people is going to be done to you times two. All the consequences. Hey, don't touch me.
Hey! That is uncalled shit!
Get out of here. That's right.
Now that was if you watch the whole video of that was actually put on World Star Hip Hop like a few years back, man. And you watch the whole video, that bitch ends up getting arrested, because she assaulted them. All right, but what? So ask yourself, why is the media portraying this in such a way?
All right, so that's pretty aggressive, rhetorically and physically. See the woman on the ground there. This is representative of that nationality. Anytime anybody hears about the black Israelites, that's what they think of. Now, I know you're saying that, they don't speak for everybody, but they actually do, because that's all everybody sees.
Well, you could say that about the Ku Klux Klan and neo-Nazis and skinhead as well. Does that represent you?
Do you believe it does?
Well, not really. Just like you shouldn't believe what they're saying represents all.
Now, that is a bad example. You should have referred to the Catholic Church. All you hear about the Catholic Church is the priests molesting little boys. But is that every single Catholic church member? No, because you still have a lot of Israelites that are that are into that Catholic Church, and yeah, they're duped into thinking that they're following the Bible, but really it's just a bunch of hypocrisy. All right.
Israelites.
So you would compare that sect that has been, pretty aggressive with the language and physically, you would compare them to the Klan?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
So you don't believe that black Israelites are superior to any other group? You think everybody's equal?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, we're not equal, man. I just brought out the scriptures. The Most High said Israel is the former of all things. You know? Yahushua said, "You are the salt of the earth." He's talking to Israelites, man. You know, the Most High called Israel to be a holy and separate people. The best of the best. Alright?
Okay.
We're all nations on the earth.
Okay.
We made our mistakes, and we paid for it. And every other nation is going to do the same thing. If you become immoral and corrupt and decay, there's a price to pay.
Lastly, what do you think about this Nathan Phillips, this Indian activist who was banging the drum?
I think he has a right to speak his mind and stand up for his people.
And
Land, his language, his culture has been taken away violently, and they have every right, like everybody else that's here, to speak their minds.
Okay. Do you think that the son should pay for the sins of the father?
Yes.
Okay. So if my father, shot someone, I should pay the price?
If he's still in a crime family, yes.
Okay. What about...
And let's see what the scriptures have to say about this question. This is Deuteronomy 24:16. The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Now, the thing that a lot of people don't understand is reincarnation. All right, because this is this is Exodus chapter 34 verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and fourth generation. All right, so what does that mean? If he's visiting the iniquity upon the fathers, upon the children, your forefathers are reincarnated. You're reincarnated through your son's lineage. If that makes sense, if you're able to receive that, just type in GMS reincarnation, Great Millstone reincarnation. Because the Bible talks about it, but it's a deeper topic, all right? The Most High has to be dealing with you to understand that you're reincarnated, all right, through your father's nationality. So when you live a completely wicked life and you don't necessarily receive judgment in that lifetime, then you'll probably be born paralyzed or with some kind of disease or something. But with that, I hope this video was edifying, and shalom.